Good to eat? Watch. Hi, I'm Dalu.
Dalu, fried rice uses day-old rice, right?
Aren't you curious why rice has to sit in the fridge for 8 hours? Make good fried rice? Actually, day-old rice is one fix. Not the best one. Day-old rice is one fix. Great fried rice doesn't need day-old rice.
Need day-old rice? Why hot rice sticks? Do pro chefs really wait overnight? Can we use an engineer's mindset and cut fried rice prep to 1 hour? Is that possible?
Yeah, it is. The key to day-old rice is moisture loss. As rice loses moisture, that process, starch retrogradation. And one benefit of it is that it makes rice taste better. Think about it. With Japanese rice, once it cools a little, the surface loses moisture, even right after it's cooked. If you fluff the rice, you let extra moisture escape. That moisture loss makes rice taste better. Fried rice needs distinct grains. That takes moderate moisture loss. So, how does starch retrogradation happen? When the rice is still hot, its hydrogen bonds are loosened. Once they open up, water gets in. As the temperature drops, those bonds reconnect. Once they do, water gets trapped inside, where it stays in a gel-like state. That process is retrogradation. As it cools, more bonds reconnect, and the rice gets firmer. So really, the key is getting retrogradation and the cooling timing just right. You might think, what if I use a fan? Is that a good idea? Actually, no. If you fan it, especially with an electric fan, the surface dries out too fast, but the moisture inside still hasn't fully set yet. So the outside forms a crust, making it harder to handle. So the real trick is this. Cook rice that's made for fried rice, just like Din Tai Fung. As for rice variety, you want one with more amylose because the changes we mentioned, gelatinization, retrogradation, and stalling, mainly affect the outer layer, the amylopectin part. If your rice has more amylose, it's affected less and doesn't need to lose as much moisture. For example, Taijeng Sen number 10 is a good choice. And if we set starch aside for a moment, there's another factor that affects how firm the rice is. Protein helps keep the grains separate. You could use Tainan number 11. Under current growing conditions in Taiwan, it naturally cooks up firmer, so it separates more easily. That's one part. You can also adjust the cooking. For example, the rice to water ratio, 1:1 hasta 1:0.9. Use less water, and the dot rice will turn out firmer and better. But one thing matters. You need to soak it well. Once you get these points, you can make rice suited for fried rice.
This question is interesting. Why does Din Tai Fung use japonica rice, while Cantonese or Thai fried rice prefers indica? Wait, did I really say something that smart? They're just different. Is the real difference what's inside the grain?
Exactly. You've nailed the core of it. You can talk rice varieties with me now. Here's the real difference. This part gets a little tricky, but I'll try to make it clear. It's really about amylopectin and amylose. Think of a big tree with a thick trunk. That's the amylose in rice. It's hard to break and relatively stable. Then there are little branches. That's dot amylopectin. Amylopectin reacts more easily, like small branches that catch fire easily on a barbecue. So it's more prone to chemical reactions, like dot gelatinization. It absorbs a lot of water. Take indica rice, for example. It has more amylose and less amylopectin. That means it's less prone to strong gelatinization, and as it cools, less prone to retrogradation. So the grains stay separate and don't get sticky. Japonica rice, like Taikung number 9, has more amylopectin, so it's more likely to turn sticky. Yeah, Taikang number 9 is softer and stickier, so for Din Tai Fung to use it, to make fried rice this good, their rice cooking technique, The rice to water ratio and the soaking time must be incredibly precise. Stir-frying skill matters. I've seen that for myself.
So Cantonese fried rice relies more on firm rice, while Din Tai Fung leans more on technique, right?
If you use the kind of rice common in Cantonese fried rice, it's almost hard to mess up. Over there, they often use Simiao rice, basmati, jasmine rice, etc. But in Taiwan, we eat less indica rice. Din Tai Fung, for example, uses Taikang number 9. It uses japonica rice for fried rice. If you pull it off, you can taste the rice's sweetness. The earlier starch gelatinization helps break down some of the starch into sugars you can taste, so it tastes sweeter. That's one big advantage of japonica rice. If you want great fried rice, the rice you choose matters. If you're a beginner, I'd suggest starting with indica rice or jasmine rice. But if you've started to care more about taste, I'd suggest trying japonica rice. And if I had to pick one, my top choice for fried rice would be Taitung number 30, mainly because it has that sweetness of japonica, and its grains are among Taiwan's largest table rice. Big grains give you a chewy satisfaction that small grain rice can't match. Just think about it. Or look it up. Google Dragon's Eye, Japan's largest edible rice, and you'll see how big it is.
The soul of fried rice? Wok hei, that smoky, charred flavor. So what is it? Magic? Does the chef cast a spell? Why can't ours at home ever get that same toasted flavor?
Actually, wok hei, also called wok hei. I prefer wok hei. That's what people in southern Guangdong call it. Wok hei, or wok hei, really needs high heat. Scientifically, it really shows up above 200 to 220 degrees Celsius. It really comes down to a blend of several reactions. Maillard reaction. Maillard dot reaction creates many flavors that humans really love. And another one is carbohydrate caramelization. These two are crucial. Both require high heat. Another one is lipid breakdown. That produces compounds like ketones. But the point isn't just that all three are there. It's that all three happen in the wok at once. That can also trigger secondary compound reactions and their byproducts. For example, when making fried rice, some people add soy sauce or oyster sauce. But usually, you don't pour it straight onto the rice. You run it around the wok. That way, the proteins or free amino acids in the sauce hit the wok fast and at high heat. Not rice. Rice not hot enough. Must hit wok. That whole thing is part of wok hei. And with oil in the pan, during stir-frying, those compounds react quickly. That's hard to pull off at home. You might think that's a drawback, but maybe it's a good thing. Because to create wok hei, need extreme heat plus fat, protein, and sugar. Under those conditions, you may form harmful compounds like acrolein. That may carry health risks. Chefs might inhale it. You may also inhale it at home. Every year and a half, or 2 years, I get a low-dose lung CT to make sure my lungs are okay. Because, like all of you, I love wok hei too. In a commercial kitchen, that's manageable. But in a home kitchen, wok hei far harder.
I never knew that. So while enjoying great food, we really need to stay safe.
Yeah, ventilation is a must. Back when I helped design back-of-house kitchens for interior renovation projects, we cared a lot about airflow. Whether it's Western cooking or direct fire cooking, the smoke can get intense. So when we talk about airflow, exhaust matters because you need to clear the smoke. That could mean a 1, 2, or 3 horsepower fan, but there's also makeup air. Exhaust not enough alone. You also need makeup air from the dining area. At home, for example, if I turn on the range hood, I crack a window in the living room so outside air can flow in. That way, the exhaust works more efficiently.
Got it. That's important too.
Yeah.
Wok hei is hard enough. Why Japanese fried rice so good? You mentioned secret weapon. Was it Wipa? What exactly is it? I also heard you say that Wipa somehow bottles wok hei.
Well, for Japanese fried rice, it's pretty common to get great fried rice at ramen shops. Pair ramen with fried rice, carbs on carbs, or ramen with gyoza. Gyoza with fried rice. That's the golden trio. Pick 2 out of 3. And when you see, you'd think, how good? It's the head chef, but it's just a part-timer. So how do regular staff make such good fried rice? Sometimes even on induction stoves? Mainly because they have great seasoning. At a food expo in Japan, I asked them, their commercial seasonings have basically cracked wok hei. They know which compounds people read as wok hei. So they turned that into fried rice seasoning. Hence great Japanese fried rice seasoning. So does Wipa do that too? I think so, but they never say it outright. When I cook with Wipa or fried rice seasoning, it tastes better than using just chicken powder or MSG. I think they've already built that into it because it has to be fat soluble, like we mentioned earlier. So you need good fats or really aromatic oils. At Home, how do we get a similar result? We can take some clues from Japanese fried rice. One big trick is using animal fat. Chicken, pork, beef, or lamb fat all work well. I really like cooking steak, so I love using beef fat for fried rice. It tastes great. And when I was really into duck breast, I used duck fat too. That was great too. If you're a vegetarian or cooking at someone else's place, don't use plain salad oil. I'd use sesame oil. Fried rice with sesame oil tastes great. So make good use of fats. Next, when you cook at home, the heat isn't that strong. So remember, don't overload the wok. Keep each batch small. Take egg fried rice. In restaurants, they cook the egg first, then add the rice, break it up, season it, add scallions, and plate it. Don't do that at home. Cook it in stages. First, heat the wok with oil. Once the oil is almost smoking, add the egg. Cook it through and bring out the aroma. Then take it out. Add a little more oil, reheat the wok, and add the rice. Once the rice has loosened up, add the egg back in. Since the heat isn't strong enough, we make some trade-offs. For seasoning, use salt. Or, for a little hack, just use Wipa or fried rice seasoning. Either one works well.
So I get it now. If you're making fried rice at home, get the oil smoking, cook egg, remove, add more oil, add the rice, then mix the egg back in and season.
Yeah, that's it. And if you want to make a fancier version with dried shrimp, fresh shrimp, or other seafood, or even steak, it's the same method. Basically, cook the add-ins, brown them, and take them out. Then move on to the next step, and keep going like that. Anyway, let me sum it up. Because we got a bit too technical at the start. First, choose the right rice. If you don't want to use day-old rice, choose your rice carefully. If you're a beginner and not great with Japonica rice, go with indica rice, like Taichung 10, Tainan 22. They're a little longer, firmer, and easier to stay separate. That's one point, but if you want the fresh sweetness of Japonica, which does taste sweeter, that works too. Then pick Taitung number 30. It's not easy to find, but pure Taikang number 9 is also worth trying. Just aim for that Din Tai Fung style. As for the method, make sure the rice is fully soaked. I'd recommend 30 to 40 minutes. As for the rice to water ratio, cut the water a bit to about 0.9. Once it's cooked, open it, fluff it a little, let the steam escape, then cover it. When it's time, stir fry it. As for the frying steps, Like I just said, start with oil over high heat. Then, cook the egg till fragrant. Fragrant, not soft. Break, dot it up. Once it smells good, take it out, add more oil, and fry the rice. Once the rice is fully loosened, add the egg back in. Then, start adding salt. Or, better yet, use fried rice seasoning or waypa. Stir till fragrant, add scallions. Done! Even a simple egg fried rice like this can feel incredibly satisfying. So, if you don't want day-old rice and you want to make pro-level fried rice, what's the hardest part? Drying out the rice? Not enough heat? Seasoning? Or the cooking fat? Tell me in the comments. While you're here, please subscribe. Let's hit 10,000 subs by year's end. Next, we started with an engineer's mindset to approach fried rice, trying to figure it out. And next time, I want to talk about efficiency. Do you also feel like that making chicken broth takes way too long? Next episode, we're challenging the idea that chicken broth needs over 2 hours before it tastes good. I'll show you how. Surface area and umami synergy, 2 key principles, can make great broth in just 10 minutes.
If you learned something today and loved Dalu's Rice Nerd Energy, subscribe to Is This Good to Eat?
I'm Dalu. See you.